And there you go. In fact, I figured that one out. On time and live. And I think I have the audio working pretty well this evening. So you'll have to let me know if my audio is well, because I went with the lavalier mic again, because that way I'm not mumbly and I can be loud. So you'll have to keep me posted on that one. But there you go, look at that, right on time. I scheduled it and I figured out how to make it live and work. So I'm feeling better. Audio is good. Awesome, awesome. Solar Idolator. All right, cool. Where you at, Solar Idolator? I know where Don the Idea Guy is. Where do we find Solar Idolator at? Okay, so it's Monday, and I got home late again tonight, so I'm just freshly showered, so I smell great. I know you can't smell, but I smell good. I do. I really smell good. So, C-Bus, what up, C-Bus in the house? All right. So, new things have been added. So remember, if you notice what's new, we can add you to the contest. So we'll start off tonight with Randy's Rock History. So where is Randy's Rock History? I'll get some background music for this. I've got a little audio thing here that I need to get hooked up. Watch out, I got my GoPros right there. Look at this one, a little Tascam, see? So I can actually do audio. I believe I can make little sound effects, so intros to things. I also have a new desk tonight. Look at this, see? It's wider, and it's got all sorts of cool black and white photos from the radio station. This was actually at the Junior Achievement radio station that we hosted for many, many years at their offices for the kids to use. So this was returned and now recycled. So it's a little bit lower, a little bit longer, and a little bit narrower, but I have more flow. So I'm feeling better already about the flow. So, all right. So this day in rock history with Randsanity, we go back all the way to 1990 to 7 Seconds, a hardcore punk band out of Reno, Nevada. I remember this show because this was like before I even started at the station. This was like the summer the station was on, and I had found this, and somewhere along the way I had actually was a guest DJ at QFM 96. QFM 96 is the AOR, and the AOR is the album-oriented rock station. So they're the ones who play Aerosmith over and over on repeat, and Led Zeppelin on repeat, and the same bands that you'll hear for a chunk of time, like a 10-year or 20-year block, and it starts here and ends here and everything in between, but nothing before and nothing after. So if that's not what you want, it's not what you're going to get with album-oriented rock. But they used to have a guest DJ thing way before, before we did the guest DJ thing, but it was late at night. They were located on Gay Street. I remember I went up to the offices and there was nobody there. It was like, you know, dead Sunday night filler stuff. And I brought alternative music with me. I know I brought Dramarama because I played like Last Cigarette. And I still have a cassette. I know, a cassette. Some people are like, what's a cassette, man? I'll bust one out and I'll show you if the people don't know it. Because if you don't know how to rewind a cassette with a pencil, it's telling. It's telling. But yes, so Dramarama and some other, like, way older, back from the, alternative music days of the late 80s. So some Ramones, I know, were in there. And I remember, sort of being done, and he was like, okay, all right, well, that was interesting, because that was not their style of music. And the station was still not here yet, and it was in its infancy, being planned or built or whatever, because it came on the air August 21st of 1990. And this is from June the 9th of 1990. 7 Seconds, hardcore punk, Reno, Nevada, at the Newport Music Hall. Now see, I can't play music, because if I play the music, then I won't be able to put this onto the Ransanity channel, and because I'll get a copyright ding. Bing! We don't want that. See, that's the whole thing. But I can see if I can find some stuff that I can put up for you from the songs. But it's definitely, you know, punk, hardcore punk. So, yes, 7 seconds. That is in rock history for tonight. And tomorrow night, I have a very fun one. And that also was a lot of Newport shows because, again, the Newport Music Hall was central to the whole theme of a lot of the music that we did for the radio station because it was right there. Solar, you got it. Up there you go, right? The new license plate. I found this. I sold all of them except for I was just cleaning and just found another WWCD license plate. Look at that. Bingo. There you go. See? And my license plate that was on my car forever, Kill TV. That's the license plate I had forever, KILTV. So there it is, right? New stuff. WWCD license plate and the Kill TV. Look, it's a radio plate. Special plate radio. So, all right. So Solar, we'll have to write you down. Write that down. Play music from a YouTube video shown on your monitor. That way you're playing music from a channel YouTube has itself cleared. No, but I think it's not that it's not cleared, but they still ding for the copyright. I don't get flagged, but you can't monetize it if it does that, because once you play music, they'll claim it. The record label will claim it. So the whole video, I believe, gets claimed. I'll check, but I think that's what happens. So I'll find out. If you know otherwise, tell me, but I think that's the way that works. But that's what happened in rock history from 1990. I was also looking through a bunch of tickets and I found the WOMAD tickets. I can't wait to tell that story when that comes up in September. The World of Modern Art and Dance. Just know that will be a long one because that involves Sinead O'Connor, Lenny Kravitz, Peter Gabriel, and the drummers of Burundi, of all things. The drummers of Burundi. Just know it has to do with Swahili and me taking it in college. So those blow-up classes come in handy sometimes. You never can tell. Coming up this week, what's happening this week? Well, we know, you know what? I felt it. I felt it earlier because I was like, I'm wondering, you feel it. I know it's going to get close. And boom, there it is. Wednesday is the strawberry moon. The full moon for June is the strawberry moon this year. And oddly enough, it will be the lowest horizon full moon since 2006. So 19 years it has not been this low of a horizon moon. So meaning it'll rise when the sun goes down. So it's going to be like boop right there. So super cool. So it should be, and because of all the dust and the fires and stuff, it actually may be red. So it may look strawberry. And the reason it's a strawberry moon is because when you're supposed to pick your strawberries, unless it's raining and the worms are getting jiggy with it, because it's also the worm jiggy moon, I think. I think it's June. The worms getting jiggy. You ever see the worms on the sidewalk? They're all getting jiggy with it. They do that on the full moon. I mean, worms. Who knew? I went out down to the storage unit today because I'm still putting away the wine festival. I don't have much wine to return. Some of it may return to my home. There might be a little bit in the fridge, I'm not going to lie. But I did have to do lots and lots of labor today because I had to return to storage all of the stuff. And I washed a lot, did a lot of laundry. I had to do the washer and dryer, 26-minute loads of 3 tablecloths at a time. And I had 10 and 13, so 20, I had like 25 tablecloths. So you do the math, that's 12 hours of freaking laundry. Not my favorite thing, but had to be done. Got to do laundry, got to make sure they're clear. Let's see, the lower on the horizon, the larger the moon. That is correct, but do you know why? Why is the moon lower on the horizon larger than being above us? And if you look through a tube, it's the same size. But why is that? Do we know? Refraction? Or is it that it has more atmosphere to look through? When you're looking straight up, the lens you're looking through is much thinner atmosphere. When you're looking down, you're looking across the horizon, you have a lot more atmosphere to look through. So it makes it look like it's looking through a lens and enlarging it. At least that's what I was told. I could be entirely wrong. Some of the information I will be espousing may not be correct, but I will always put that disclaimer out there, according to me. So, according to me, that is why the moon looks bigger. Because of the fact low on the horizon, more atmosphere to go through, so it looks like a lens, like looking at the bottom of a Coke bottle. It makes it look larger. And maybe that is refraction. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. So, solar, you may be right. There is that possibility. I also worked today on getting the live streams downloaded so I can put them on the Randsanity channel. It took a bit because they're long. And I think I figured out how to do it, but I'm going to schedule them because I don't want to put them all at once. So I think maybe I'll do it tomorrow. So then it'll follow 10 days off, and I'll post one per day. That way it doesn't overlap too much, and if people find their way there. So people have been adding. That's good. I'm up to like 570 something subscribers on the Randsanity channel. So yes, please like, subscribe. I can move these lanyards over a little bit so you can see it say subscribe. Oh crap, that sucked. Wow, I don't know what the hell just fell off the ceiling, but that was dirt, dead bugs, you know, the stuff that you get in basement ceilings. My studio, my basement studio, my lower level studio. But this is actually the basement. At the radio station, we were 2 floors, and the ground level you came in, you went up a few stairs and down a few stairs. And I never call it the basement. It was always the garden level. Okay, because if you looked at the window was like right here was the world. So it was the garden level. Okay, so never call it the basement. And I'm low enough down here that this is actually a basement. The windows aren't like halfway. So I believe the windows are up there. So the ground is about here. Here. Higher than the camera. But yes, so this is actually basement, not garden level. Today what was the national day? Remember, it was National Rhubarb Pie Day. Also National Donald Duck Day, because today was the first day Donald Duck ever appeared in a video or on screen. And we had the pleasure of meeting Donald Duck's voice guy many years ago. He was an old bird that came in to do a Comic-Con event. Really nice, and he was Donald Duck. So he gave the stuff. Not as much as I'm doing, since I don't want to do it poorly, because Donald Duck sounding bad is just bad. So I subbed earlier. Yes, solar, woo, sweet. Monday, so remember, Thursday, episode 4 comes out of Day Trippin'. And that will be our first day in Cleveland. So that'll be breakfast in Cleveland. So I'm going to keep harassing everybody to make sure that if you watch, you go there, you see Day Trippin', make comments, and post about me. Not that Steven's bad or anything. Love Steven. Steven, nothing but love. But he's got 13 million subscribers on YouTube. I have 575. So if it comes comparably to the amount of, yeah, I'm not going to win. It's just not. It's not happening. So we have to make sure that, in fact, I get moved up the rank a little bit here, so that if we do, in fact, get invited back for another season, they bring me back and they don't find someone that has a higher body count. I mean, subscriber count, not body count. That's an entirely different thing altogether that we don't need to go to. This is a, this is a family show here, people, okay? I haven't marked that it's not for children, but, let's just keep it real. Keep it on the level. So, yeah, it's going to be a good week. Monday, I don't believe there's a lot going on this week that I can tell you about. Let's see what it is. I didn't get to do this, so you have to bear with me, because I apologize, because like I said, I got home late. So tomorrow is National Forklift Safety Day. Okay, I promise, edit the video from Costco on Saturday so you can see them using 3 forklifts to unstick the 1 forklift, since it is, in fact, National Forklift Safety Day. And trust me, they in fact were not being super safe. This was definitely not safe. I will say that. It's also National Frosted Cookie Day. So I will make sure I have National Frosted Cookies so that we can snack on those. I hate that. National Egg Roll Day. Okay. I could have that for lunch tomorrow, I guess. National Call Your Doctor Day, second Tuesday in June. Hell no. I'm not calling my doctor unless, you know, I need the dump button. Grayson would be all about, he'd have the dump button, he'd sneeze, he'd be able to edit the whole thing. Man, I don't have that skill. But yes, National Call Your Doctor Day? Seriously, what's like a Hallmark holiday? What the you know, doctors got together and put that, that's complete BS. I'm scrubbing that one. It's not that, okay? We're not gonna do that one. National Herbs and Spices Day and National Black Cow Day. The drink, the black cow, not like, you know, moo cows that are black. Also National Iced Tea Day. Okay, I can get that one. I could go for National Iced Tea Day. I had iced tea tonight at Plank's Pizza because I had the need for pizza today. We went to Plank's on Parsons. Plank's on Parsons has a very sweet sauce. So I don't know if people like that or not. There's definitely two schools of thought when it comes to pizza. This place in Columbus on Parsons Avenue, Planks, and there's multiple Planks because I think there was, you know, this like one of those family started making pizza 100 years ago, and then brother, sibling was like, ah, you suck, oh, you suck, you suck, you suck. And now there's different Planks pizzas, and in fact, they're owned by different family members, but they all get to use the same name still because they're still Planks or have the rights to it. But anyway, there's a very big difference between one on High Street, one in Grove City, and one on Parsons. The one on Parsons has a very sweet sugar in their sauce. So I went and had that tonight with Natasha because Natasha helped out at the wine festival. So I owed her that and hung out a little bit and had, in fact, black and green olive pizza. I know it's a thing. Some people just don't dig the olives. They're afraid of the little salty balls. I get it. Okay. I know olives are just not your thing, but come on, olives, salty. They're so good. Pitted with some, you know, a pimento, blue cheese in a martini. I mean, come on, people. This is olives. So black and green olive pizza from Plank's. Ate the whole thing. Not even a scrap left over because they're good. So if you haven't tried it, try it. We were discussing pineapple pizza, you know, Hawaiian pizza. No, not so much. I'll eat it in a pinch, but I'm just not a pineapple guy on my pizza. I like pineapple, but the ham, the cinnamon, the pineapple, to me, it's a little much. Personal taste, I get it, you know. I mean, everyone has their personal taste, but that's what it is. I said earlier today, your Donald Duck impression was really foul, but quacks me up anyway. Thank you very much, Don. Beautiful, beautiful. More followers, you'd figured he'd get more video views. Do you put Heinz on it? You know, I do sometimes. If it's crappy pizza, I actually will put Heinz on my pizza. I know, again, blasphemy. But come on, you ever get like some of these really, you know, like in a pinch, you got to get something out of the freezer, and it's not DiGiorno, it's something like, you know, frozen slab of the kind that you had when you were a kid in high school. It's one of those. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, you're starving, and pizza, you know, you leave it in there, or you forget to. Sorry, Jordan, sorry. Party many moons ago, hungry, drinking may have been involved, put the pizza in the oven and had no tray under said pizza. So once it cooked, it fell through the rack and it was a mess. So yes, please remember to put something under your pizza when you put it on the rack. Some sort of tray usually was appropriate, because if you don't, it does in fact melt through the cracks and it does make a mess. But yes, I have in fact put ketchup on my pizza because it's tomato sauce. So it's not, you know, horrible. But you know, I'm a ketchup on my scrambled eggs guy too, though. So, you know, and I eat olives with a lot of stuff. I don't have olives and ketchup. But pickles, because relish, in fact, on a hot dog, and I know, again, blasphemy, ketchup on a hot dog, relish, mustard, ketchup, yeah, I do that too. I do that too, because again, you know, it's there. It's verified that I actually like ketchup. So, and it was National Ketchup Day, like June the 5th. Didn't even know it. I was just scrolling through and you know, looking for what's coming up in the National Day, and duh, had I started this a couple days earlier when I was looking for, you know, themes of what I'm going to do on, you know, every day, the music thing and the theme thing. So I've got two things I can do every day. So I'm getting there. It's gelling like Magellan. But yes, it was National Ketchup Day. The hell, I could have done something really fun, something exciting, something different, something wild and crazy. Let's see, Heinz on it. There's no blasphemy when it comes to pizza. No rules. Good, I like that. I was a latchkey kid. I put ketchup on bread and milk cheese. That's yes. You don't have to be proud of it. That's okay. Message retracted. Not good. No. Hot dogs are not Heinz verified. Wait a second. They are absolutely hot dogs. Seriously, bro? Come on, hot dogs. Look, hot dogs and ketchup are okay. They are okay, I promise. How's the audio? Is it working okay now tonight? The lavalier doing okay still? You know, if you're 5, you know what? I still eat peanut butter and jelly, all right? And if I had a can, I'd have SpaghettiOs with it, because I'm telling you what, a peanut butter and jelly and SpaghettiOs is really good. So, screw you and your 5. Just because I have an appetite like a 5-year-old, that's okay. I know. What do you want from me? Okay? Look, I'm simple. I'm an omnivore. Put it in front of me, I'm pretty much going to eat it. There's not much that I won't eat when it comes to food. You know, some things I like better than other things, but really, I as far as I know, I have no food allergies except for anything spicy, so I can sweat eating ketchup, and Don can attest to that. So anything spicy, I will sweat from the neck up badly. And I'll share that one day, I'm sure. I'll eat something spicy and just be like dripping. But I will eat just about anything. I don't have anything that I'm like, I won't eat. Brussels sprouts, not a fan. Goes back to the days when my dad, you know, the kid, mom would boil the Brussels sprouts like little tiny brains, you know, throw them in a pot and they were boiled and they'd come out like green and gross. Not the way they prep them these days, all sorts of like spices and baked and broiled and all these things, but just, you know, little green brains like lima beans or something. And yeah, one of those occasions where I didn't want to eat them. Well, what you want? You knew if they were chocolate covered. So Dad got the Hershey's chocolate syrup and on top of the Brussels sprouts. Eat them now. You're not getting up from the table till you eat those. Well, next morning when he found me sitting at the table, he pretty much figured out that I was in fact his son because he was stubborn. And guess what I inherited? Stubborn. So yeah, that was about it for Brussels sprouts and me. I think I had Brussels sprouts 5-7 years ago, and I actually called my mom. I was like, Mom, I'm eating Brussels sprouts. She was so proud. Everyone at the table was like, really? What's the big deal? But I mean, come on, like 40 years I hadn't had a Brussels sprout, so yeah, I mean, you got to do these things for Mom, right? Mom's 93. I still have my mom, 93. Lives on her own, drives, goes to exercise, goes to the library, volunteers, like goes to the garden club, out to lunch every day. I mean, that's how you keep going, people. Just motivation, keep moving, don't stop. I think it's inertia at this point, but you know, knock on wood, God bless. Some sort of wood product. I mean, wow. That's a thing. Okay, so for some reason, this camera, the camera number 2, as I said, only lasts for like 20 minutes. and it clicks off. This one, the main camera, camera number 1, does not. So again, I need to figure out why this one kicks off and this one doesn't. There's a setting, obviously, that I've got that's different. I think I have them so that they look the same. I think I have the right same F setting and f-stop and everything else. So I think they're the same color. But I'll adjust that too and look. But that happens. So if I'm on that camera and it clicks off after 20 minutes, now you know why. Okay? I'm not trying to get rid of you. I'm not cutting you off. It's just, that's what's happened. Okay, so that's what's happened. So yes, so tomorrow, National Iced Tea Day, National Black Cow Day, National Herbs and Spices Day. We're not going to talk about that one because that's really stupid. National Call Your Doctor Day. National Egg Roll Day. That's all for lunch tomorrow. National Forklift Safety Day, which I promise I'll edit the video and I'll have for tomorrow night. I'll get it scrapped down to something. I'll use CapCut or something because it's amusing to say the least to see how much ice we moved on a pallet, thinking that this door was going to hold 2,000 pounds of ice and a forklift, which is probably another 9,000 or 10,000 pounds. National Frosted Cookie Day, so we'll definitely have a National Frosted Cookie. And I don't really care about birthdays or events. Unless it's your birthday, happy birthday! Because otherwise, I don't care. Because, it's going to be famous people and people I don't care about. Mine isn't until December, and yours is until then, exactly. See, that's when yours is. So, fair enough. Yes. So yeah, see, we're starting to gel with things. So, band that we saw, 7 Seconds, Reno, hardcore punk. Definitely check that out. I will try and find more music to review. So I've been trying to get in touch with the record labels, and I'm going to see if I can get some downloads, so you can get free downloads from them. And we'll see if that works. I don't put ketchup on my PBJ, Don. Okay, seriously, that's gross. All right, I mean, I put ketchup on stuff, but not on a PBJ. PBJ is peanut butter and jelly. Now, I will do an Elvis and peanut butter and banana, if the banana's ripe. And I will do peanut butter and honey, because peanut butter and honey is really good, especially if it's like that Manuka honey. It's got that, the clover flavor from Australia or something. Also really good. Peanut butter and honey, not horrible. But then honey and blueberries and honey and strawberries. I mean, come on. We're just going down this rabbit hole of food, making me hungry. But I did have, as I said, planked pizza earlier, and then I had more food, and that was meatballs and shells. So I got my Italian fix in for the week. So that was what I did with that. Let's see what Don. Let's see. People keep saying peanut butter on a burger, but I haven't had. I don't know. I mean, is that like a satay sauce? I mean, it is peanut, right? I don't know. Peanut butter on meat. I don't know. It'd be worth trying it, though. I would be worth trying it. In college, when we would go skiing and have the adventure club, the ski club, and there would be a lot of us in a room. At the end of the week, because we'd go shopping. At the beginning of the week, if there was 10 people in the room, all of us would kick in like $10 or $20, and we'd go shop. And we'd go buy cereal and milk and bologna and ketchup, mayonnaise, pickles, stuff, lunch meats, the whole bit. And then we could have sandwiches, put in your backpack when you're on the mountains or whatever, and save money, because college kids skiing, I'm going to eat what I can carry with me as opposed to paying for a $5 burger or whatever it was on the mountains. But at the end of the week, because, you don't want to throw things away, and if you leave anything behind, it gets thrown away, we would make the garbage food, which would be everything. So we would stack, and I mean stack, everything. Now see, again, endpoint security. Don't know why they're harassing me. Everything on the thing. So potato chips, pickle, bologna, mayonnaise, vodka, Hershey's powder. Yes, I did say vodka. So that did make it soggy. So you'd have to have an extra slice of bread in there to absorb the vodka. But that was, and these were like these Dagwood sandwiches, and we would just eat these ridiculous sandwiches because, again, college, and that's what you did, because we had that. And somewhere I have lots of video, because I had an old video camera from back in the day, one of those giant, the old, like, hold on your shoulder thing, and skied with it. but way before there was GoPros, and now with technology, so they're a little bit stuttery, and they're probably tracking is really bad. But I would love to start to find some of those, and I can show some of the videos from my crazy youth of ski club and other adventures when we had the video camera out and about at things, because that was quite the adventure, because most people did not have a video camera then. And I got it. The main reason I had one, though, is because I actually shot something for MTV Spring Break. They wanted to, I was in some class, and somebody had posted something about, hey, if you want to be doing something with MTV, you can submit your video for Spring Break and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I have a video camera. So I sent footage to MTV that they used for something from like a Crazy Spring Break, like a short little highlight of it. So I had an MTV sticker that was on my case, and I was all like, "Ooh, yeah, I worked for MTV. Woo!" They didn't pay me anything. It was just, I guess that's the prestige of saying that I did it back in college. But that was one of the forays into video. With these giant VHS camera that he put with the battery was, literally a brick, the size of like this big and like this thick. It probably weighed 8 pounds, just the battery alone. And then, of course, the camera, you had a handle for it you could carry. Nowadays they sell those, and they're called Sonys, and they're high end, and they're, $20,000-$30,000, because that's, it's 28K and something else and all the bells and whistles. And this was just basic camcorder video. But that's how it worked. That's what it was like back in the day. Back in the day, people, back when us old folks, how we had to do that. Oh, snap. Okay, let's see. People keep saying, oh, they have peanut butter. We did it already. I've had a peanut butter PBJ burger. It was tasty but overhyped. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I do like a BLT salad. If you've never had a BLT salad, it's actually kick-ass. It's as good as a BLT or better salad, like with dressing, tomatoes, and lots of bacon in there with like a mayonnaise. Oh, hell yes. BLT salad. I can post recipes. Should I post recipes? I might be able. Recipes and food sampling. Maybe I'll do some food sampling. Things I don't make. And spicy things. No. Really, I cannot eat spicy food. So I will not be doing the one chip challenge, as I said. I will not be doing hot wings under any circumstances whatsoever, unless my hot is mild. Okay? Like Buffalo Wild Wings, mild. And I'm going to be like, this is spicy. Trust me. Some of my friends give me a lot of grief over the fact that my palate is not well seasoned for anything over, the scale of 1 to 100, 1. That's about it. Maybe if I'm lucky, a 2. But then we're pushing it, and I'm gonna, start to sweat and feel nervous. My eyes are gonna tear up, and my nose is gonna be running, and I was looking at me like, dude, that's ketchup. Yes, I know it's ketchup. All right, there's something in there I'm allergic to. I don't know, the capsaicin or something. I don't know. Is there capsaicin in ketchup? Don't know. Not sure. There might be. Who knows? There could be. Let's see. Radio station history. I still haven't sold the building. So there you go. That's the update. I'll keep you posted as that gets closer. Once I have some sort of formal something at some point sooner than later, I am going to do a yard sale. So I will post that on all the appropriate places that people can come down. And I will, in fact, have a chainsaw available to cut the bar up if someone so desires, an actual piece of the bar. So prepare yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because it will be a thing. It will be an event. I don't think there'll be anything that I won't be willing to part with. I mean, I don't want to part with anything. That's the point of it. But I don't think there's anything that I won't part with that I have already pulled aside, or I'll go, no, I can't do it. I can't sell. probably won't happen. I probably wind up selling it. Because that's how that works. Yep. I thought about something funny today. I was thinking about micro dirty jobs. And I said, I wonder if I could convince people once a week to let me do a job. You know, like work in a pizza shop, work at McDonald's. Not a dirty job as much as just learn a job. Kind of leaning into the Heinz ketchup thing that Steven's doing, where he was learning skills at these Heinz Verified. I could do that at restaurants, but I've worked in restaurants, so I'm kind of skilled at bartending. That's what paid for college and some of those other things. So I could do that, or I could try and lean into other avenues of stuff that I may not have the skills to do. There's not much. I've done a lot of stuff, so I'm not really sure. But it's worth a try. I'm not sure if I'm there yet. Still gelling. This is the gelling part of the process here. This is only day 9, so I'm trying my best to get this worked out. I could be sponsored by Sharpie. I've always got a Sharpie in my pocket. Sharpie, when you really need to sign stuff that never is going to come off. So, yeah, I mean, you know, Sharpie could sponsor me. Heinz kind of sponsored me. If they could do more, I could be more verified. I'd be happy to go do that. I did, in fact, take an empty Heinz bottle with me when I was traveling across the country after I did the shoot with Steven. When I stopped in Reno, I asked the waiter, I said, hey, you know, hey, what kind of ketchup do you serve? And he's like, oh, I think we serve Heinz. I'm like, cool. I said, can you bring a bottle out there? And he was like, nah, bro, man, no, I can't do that. I'm like, walked away, and I'm like, dick. He was definitely, you know, it was off season, and it was Mother's Day, and I don't know, he was just a mother. Yeah, I said it. But yeah, he was just not super friendly or nice. Just kind of like, dude, like, you know, you're hassling me, man. Here, what do you want to eat? Burger? Take a burger. Jake's on the Lake it was called. It was called Jake's on the Lake. So if you make it out there, the view's great, the food was good, the waiter sucked. Sorry, dude. Go figure. Yeah, I'm not going to call you out on it. Oh, I did a kindness tonight. I did have some leftover wine, and when I was cleaning up the office, there was 2 fine gentlemen smoking crack on the stairs of the radio station building. So I gave them a couple of high noons. They seemed appreciative. I just said, please don't throw the garbage on the sidewalk. That was my good deed for the day. Giving 2 guys smoking crack on my stairs high noons. Pineapple. They seemed excited. Yeah, and that's real. I didn't videotape that because I didn't think that would be appropriate. But in fact, they were very nice, and they were very high. They were very, very high. I mean, you got to give a little kindness, right? I mean, you know, the guys on the side of the road that are sitting there saying, you know, give me $1. Usually I don't. If the guy's literally standing there and he's got 1 leg, yeah, I'm probably going to give him $1 because the dude's definitely not faking it. You know, unless it's like the jackal from Day of the Jackal, and he's got the leg like, you know, tied up behind him and stuff, which I highly doubt. I can feel for that individual. You know, they're in a circumstance and situation where that's kind of where they're at. Just like these guys, they were definitely in that place that they weren't going to come back from anytime soon, if ever. So I didn't feel like I was doing anything bad. Just, here you go. It's hot. Have some liquid. You know, maybe it'll help wash down the crack. Or whatever you were chasing with that little pipe there. They did not offer. I did not accept. So just to be completely transparent with that part of it as well. You know, I know sometimes you hear about people like, you know, Jack Nicklaus used to sit down and drink whiskey with homeless that were on the side of the road and such, and that's awesome. But yeah, no, I was not about to pull up in a limo and be like, hey, bro, smoke some crack. No, that wasn't going to work for me. Just not doing that. Just not doing that. So, but that was my good deed for the day, because, you know, you have to try and do good deeds for the day. And I did put my 2 cents in today when I went to the store, and I got some Conn's snack mix, the $1.99 snack mix, and a can of Liquid Death. Ooh, Liquid Death could sponsor me. I like Liquid Death. Put a can right there. But I got my can of Liquid Death and my Conn's snack mix. There was a gentleman in the gas station who looked like he was having a rough day. I walked up and I was like, there was a giant spill on the floor, like someone dropped like their 96 ounce Slurpee, and it hit the ground. It was just everywhere. I mean, it was on the floor, it was on the packaged things, it was on the carpet. I just kind of walked up like, looks like you had an explosion here. He was like, yeah, somebody dropped their drink. I was like, clearly. So my thing came out to like $1.80 or something, or $1.78, and I gave him $1.80 or $3.80. I think it was $3.80. And he goes, "You want your change back?" My 2 cents? I said, "I'll put my 2 cents in." And I kind of stood there for a second. He kind of looked at me, this kind of slack-jawed look, and I was like, "People should be nicer. So you have yourself a really fine rest of the day." And he kind of smiled, and he goes, "Thanks, you too." And I was like, that made me feel better, because I felt bad for the guy, because he clearly at some point was going to have to come to my side of the counter and clean up this absolute disastrous mess. Again, didn't take pictures because I kind of felt bad for the guy, because he definitely was not having it. And it was just everywhere. And it was sticky too, because my feet were like, I was like, ugh. That was definitely not you don't want that spill. Not what you want in your house, and definitely not what you want in your place of business that you will in fact be cleaning up at some point in the not so distant future. Just saying. And that was in Obetz, Ohio, as a matter of fact, because that's where I have some storage units out in fields where I keep the stuff that I don't keep in the building, which I won't have much longer. Please let's make that happen so I don't have the building much longer. It's been a long 18 months, ladies and gentlemen. Just saying. But yes, there will be a yard sale. I'm telling you, will be a yard sale at some point. So, all right. So I think that's it. I'm going to try and keep these things a little more succinct. I think I kept it fairly succinct and fairly on track tonight. Not too crazy. Let's see. Brussels sprouts. People keep saying peanut butter on a burger. No, you're right. That's right. PBJ, mayo or Miracle Whip. Oh, dude, it depends. Okay. So Miracle Whip on a BLT is okay. You can do Miracle Whip on a BLT. You can also do mayo on a BLT. But like, you can't do like a deviled eggs. Can't do Miracle Whip on deviled eggs. No. Has to be mayo. You have to use mayonnaise to mix it in with the mustard and the little relish in there and a pimento and stuff. But no, Miracle Whip will not, in fact, work for deviled eggs. That's just me personally. And then there's other things, I'm sure, like a burger. I'm a mayo, not a Miracle Whip for burgers. So yeah, there's definitely a purist thing going on with that. Like, Pepsi versus Diet Coke. Some people just won't. They're just like, can I get a Coke? I only have Pepsi. Don't want it. Okay. I don't really care. If I'm going to have a soda, I can have either. I can have a Coke, I have a Pepsi. I like Pepsi. Pepsi's good. Diet Coke occasionally. Andrew would have a Diet Coke. I'm okay. But yeah, mayo, Miracle Whip. Yeah, that's definitely one of those things where, like fries, like frites. You go over to Europe, you get like fries, they give you mayo. Miracle Whip, I don't think would do it with fries. It would just be like, no, not right. So yeah, that's a good one. Mayo. Sharpie, do not use on eraser boards. Oh, yeah, we've done that. But we do know how to get them off eraser boards. If you write on a dry erase board with a Sharpie, and then you use a dry erase marker, it'll take the Sharpie off. Don't ask me. I think what it does is it's the rubbing alcohol or whatever the alcohol and the chemicals that are in the Sharpie that makes it adhere. The same thing that keeps the Sharpie liquid before it dries is the same thing in the dry erase marker. So you can actually rub it and write it and it comes off. I'll bring a dry erase board over and I will try that because I don't have a dry erase board, but I do have a Sharpie. Okay, I'm just like, what's that? Oh, film festival. And I forgot to bring the rest of my lanyards home today. It was a hectic day can I say? Crack is whack. Yes, I know. Yes, crackheads don't normally share. No, I don't know, right? I mean, but again, they seemed like they seemed very happy together. They were sharing with each other. You know, they seemed very nice. I didn't stick around too long, but I did, like I said, I gave them a couple of high noons, pineapple vodka ones. You know, they were left over from the wine festival. And, you know, it was hot. They seemed like they needed some liquid. Figured I didn't have any bottled water. I would have brought that to them. I didn't figure bring them a cup and a pitcher would have been appropriate. You know, it is, man. I just said, please don't litter. So that was my only contingent to the whole thing was just, you know, please don't litter. That's it. There's recycling bins literally 5 feet away from you. So if you're going to sit here and smoke crack on my stairs, please just throw your empty cans into the recycling bins right next to you. That's that. There you go. South Side, baby. Woo! You gotta love it. You have to love it. So, yes, crackheads don't normally share. No, they don't. But you never know, right? One never knows. So you know what? All this discussion and talk of PBJs, that's what I'm going to go do. I'm going to go make myself a PBJ. So you all have yourself a great rest of your evening. I'm going to try and get a little better about posting the creation so I can appointment set earlier than 15 minutes. Like I said, I didn't really jump into the shower till like 10:25, so I only had a couple minutes to actually post the live stream. Peanut butter and jelly time. Yes, peanut butter and jelly time. Peanut butter and jelly time. That is happening. I am so making a peanut butter and jelly. Now, the purist in you, is it strawberry or is it grape? I mean, come on. Or blueberry. Because I do have some French jellies, not going to lie, not just this Smucker's stuff. I've got some French jellies. And, I've got some raspberry jelly from this place in New Jersey down near Cape May. When I've gone there, we went there in the summer and got this raspberry jam that was just, I forget the name of this place. You have to go there to get it. Pfft, go figure. You can't buy it online. They won't ship it. Bastards. But it was, there's none left. So, but I do have some bougie French jellies. Come in a little skinny jar. Blueberry jelly. I mean, it's like blueberry jam. It's not bad, I'm not going to lie. Blueberry's okay with peanut butter. But they have raspberry too. And except for little seeds. Okay, crunchy peanut butter. Did you ever just take peanuts, like regular peanuts, and put them in the peanut butter and make your own crunchy peanut butter? Because that works too. Just saying, got to explore, you know, as long as you're not using olive tapenade. No, olive tapenade is not going to happen with peanut butter and jelly. No. But artichoke hearts, olive tapenade, or those the Greek olives, I'm telling you, that's a really good salad. Just artichoke hearts and olives. Yeah. Something about that too. It's that whole like oily, salty thing. I'm sure it's great for your cholesterol because it's all the good stuff. Those are those good cholesterols. So yeah, I'll just continue to eat that. I'll break out, you know, I'll look like a 14-year-old with acne from all the oil, but hey, you know, my skin will be radiant in that respect, and my coat will be shiny. Okay, so I did digress, and I wound up yapping for another 5 minutes, 7 minutes, who knows. So I did not keep it under 40 minutes. But that's what's going to happen. I'm just going to go on these tangents. I'm just going to kind of just go here. But that's where it's at. So, as per usual, I'm going to fade to black. I am going to create an end card. I'm working on it. I just haven't had time to do it. I literally have to get up in the morning at 7 o'clock. I've got to get right to work. Then I have to drive someone to work. Then I have to go and do work stuff and pick up things and drop things off and just stuff. Tomorrow I have to go. Maybe I'll take the camera. I'm going to look at quartz countertops tomorrow for a client who wants to get a new countertop. So I'm project managing this for her. She's very nice, but she felt like she was not getting the proper respect from the installation guys at a place she went to. So I picked a new place, went there, and I think we've settled on a quartz countertop. Very nice piece of stone that the installers will then get put in. So I'll have to prep it, do the plumbing and everything ahead of time, but I think it'll look very nice when she's done. And excited about that because I think I might then use quartz and put a countertop in for the house I'm rehabbing right now, which I'll have to give you guys a preview of that as well, of some of the stuff I've done. I'll definitely get some pictures of and video of the kitchen before and after, because some of the rooms are just getting painted and the floor is going to have to get sanded. But the kitchen, ooh, yeah, that's going to have to be completely gutted and redone. Thinking gray shaker cabinets with a quartz countertop, stainless steel sink, gray backsplash and gray floor tiles, black ceiling fan, and those disc lights, you know, instead of cans, they make them those little discs in there, because the ceiling's missing. The plaster is gone. So it's kind of a wreck. But I will share that with you so you can see that. So, okay, well, I'm going to go, and more stories and more adventures tomorrow. So fade to black. Thank you all again. As always, do good things for people and, you know, try and make somebody smile. Appreciate you. Thank you for your kind indulgence. Don't forget, like and subscribe to the Randsanity channel, because we will move over to there eventually, or I'll stay here and just post them there, and then I'll post videos there when I get CapCut to edit for me, because I suck at editing. It takes time, and that's, again, patience, not my thing. Anyway, thank you. Good night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.